Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonia and today we're going to be learning how to draft a corset using the bustier method, one of the easiest method, beginner friendly. So let's dive right in. Guys, it's safer to draft on paper when drafting a corset before transferring it to your fabric for a lot of reasons. So first of all, we're going to be starting by marking our horizontal measurements, and the first I'm marking is my shoulder to nipple measurement, which is 10.5 inches. From the top of the paper, I'm going to be marking 10.5 inch, just like so. And then I'm also marking my underbust, which is 14 inches, also from the top of my paper down to my underbust, which is 14 inches. Marking it in different directions, different places, so that I can be able to achieve a straight line with my ruler. So now I'm going to place the ruler, and the place whereby all these lines touch each other, I'm going to draw a straight line. Doing that also for my underbust. The next horizontal line we're going to be taking is our half length. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to be using the half length of 20 inches. So I'm going to mark my 20 inch. It's just from the beginning of the paper down to where the 20 is marked on the tape, just like that. And I'm going to mark it in multiple places to achieve a straight line. Then I'll take my ruler and connect all the points together. Now I'm going to be labeling. The first line is my breast point. The second line is my underbust measurement. And then the third line is my half length measurement. Take note, the first line is the nipple to shoulder to nipple measurement. The second line is the underbust measurement, and then the third line is the half length. The next I'm going to marking is my shoulder measurement, which is 16 inches divided by 2, which will give me 8 inches. I'll mark 8 inches there. After marking the 8 inches, I'm going to come down with my armhole depth. I'm going to be using 9 inches. So I'll come down to mark my 9 inches and 1 inch slope. You can use 8, you can use 9 inch, and then you can also divide to get an accurate measurement. I'm going to also mark 8 down there so that I can get a straight line and connect all the points together, just like that. And then I'm going to extend the line at that edge to get something that looks like an L line for my armhole curve. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to determine the depth of my chest line. How deep? This does not have any particular measurement. It's determined by how revealing the customer, the client, wants their clothes to be. I'm going to be using 8 inches for the sake of this tutorial. So I'm coming down from the shoulder by 8 inches, just like that, and I'm marking in multiple places to get a straight line with my ruler, just like so. Up next, I'm going to be marking my nipple to nipple measurement, which is my bust span. My bust span is 9 inches. 9 inches divided by 2 will give me 4.5. I am not going to add any allowance because when we are cutting, we're going to add the allowance. So I'm going to mark 4.5 now on all the horizontal lines. I'm going to mark 4.5 across the horizontal lines we have already drawn to achieve a straight line, just like how I'm doing it now. And we're going to connect it. Note that this method, we're basically trying to draft a bustier, that from there we can draft, then from there we can draft our corset, our simple corset. So now what I'm going to do next is to mark the neckline. I'm going to be using, for the sake of this tutorial, 4 by 4 inches. So I'm going to mark 4 down there, and I'm going to mark another 4 inches. And then I'll connect the line in a curve with my free hand. That being done, what I'm going to do next is to come down for my shoulder slant. I came down by 1 inch. I'm going to connect it to the neckline down there to get my shoulder slant, just like that. Having done that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark the midpoint, which is 4.5 inches. I'm coming in 1 inch because of the sake of the armhole, the armpit, to get a balance there. I'm going to come in with a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to take my armhole curve, my French curve, to place it on those points where the point is the neckline slant, the neckline slope, and then the 1/2 inch, and then the L shape down there. I'm going to be using my ruler to connect it. So make sure all the lines are connecting like that. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to take my tape and mark 1 inch in and out of that line, just like that. I'm going to come up to my underbust and also do the same thing, 1 inch in and out of that line. Then I'm going to leave my breast point line. I'm going to leave my breast point line. I'm going to jump up to my chest line and mark 1 inch in and out of that line. And I'm going to take my ruler and connect the line just like so. And then I'm going to use my free hand to form a curve to meet the breast point line. To meet the breast point line, avoid any sharp curves. Just use your hand gently to draw it like that. It shouldn't be too sharp, just the way I'm doing it with my hand like that. I didn't want to use a ruler because I prefer using my hand. I'm also going to connect it to the 1 inch up there, just like that. From that 1 inch, I'm going to form a curve that is going to lead straight down to my breast point line. I'm trying to trace it so you could see very well. Sorry, the lines are faint. So what I'm going to do now, the 2 inches I took from up, now I'm going to come and add it to the armhole, just like that. The 2 inches we took from that up side, I'm going to be adding it and extending the line. So please do not forget. And I'm going to form a curve there. I'm going to form a curve down there. If you do not replace the 2 inches, your the top of your bustier, the top of your corset will not be balanced. So having done that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark how deep I want the mid part of my corset to be. So I'm going to come down by, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to be using 9.5 inches. So I'm going to come down 9.5 inches, and I'm going to come in by 1/2 inch, just like that. I'll take my ruler and connect it. I came from up to that place 9.5, and then I came in by 1/2 inch, and I'm going to draw the straight line to meet that 1/2 inch there. Then what I'm going to do next is to take my French curve and place it just like that, that 1/2 inch line meeting the other line of the underbust in a cup shape. So you adjust your ruler to get the curve shape. Then I'm going to connect it in a cup shape. I made those lines to meet each other. So if you notice, my French curve is almost straight, and that's what we got. Then the next thing we're going to do is to also get a cup shape. Like don't slant your ruler too much. Let it give you a cup shape, just the way I did my hand. Now let it give you that kind of shape, and then you draw the line from that underbust down to the armhole there also. So you see, this is transitioning from the bustier, the normal bustier, to the corset. So it's already forming a corset at this point. So now I'm going to connect that line that I came down, that 9 inches line, 9.5 inch line I came down, to the other line, the other chest line. I'm going to use my French curve to connect it like that. Very simple. And I'm still going to carry my French curve and also try and connect it on that same line, that chest line by the other side. And we're going to take into cognizance the 2 inches line that we have extended. Please do not forget. So now, from what you are seeing, you notice that we have already gotten our corset. We've gotten our corset. Our corset is already coming out. So I extended it down there to get a smooth line, a smooth finish. It is looking there very nice and smooth. So next thing I'm going to do is to start taking our measurements. Remember, you're not going to put allowance where this is a corset. You are not supposed to put allowance. So my bust, I'm going to mark in. My bust divided by 4 gave me 9.5. So I'm going to mark in 9.5 there. And then my round under bust divided by 4 gave me 7.5. From the upper part, I forgot to add 2 inches allowance. So I'm going to add my 2 inches allowance. Remember, we took 2 inches from up there. And then here, my round under bust divided by 4 is giving me 7.5. But I'm going to be marking 7. That means I'm snatching ½ inch. Remember, this is divided by 4. That's I'm practically snatching 2 inch, because ½ inch multiplied by 4 will give you 2 inches. So I'm going to add the 2 inches. Remember, we took 2 inch. That 1 inch we marked in and out of that line. I'm replacing it there. Please do not forget. And I'm going to mark my stomach measurement. I like doing it like this. I will mark my stomach measurement. My stomach measurement is supposed to be 9.5 divided by 4 when it's divided by 4, but I used 9 inches. That means I snatched 2 inches out of it too. So please, there is no need for an allowance on this. So just the way I'm doing it. I remember when I marked the 9 inches down there on my half length, I forgot to add the 2 inches down there, so I'm going to still have to add the 2 inches. So later on I realized that I did not add 2 inches we're about to cut out. So mind you, after joining, I still went ahead to add I'm still going to use my ruler to connect it, just like that. So guys, the next thing we are going to be doing is to mark our bust dart. So I'm going to come down from that breast point line by 2 inches, and I'm going to use my ruler to connect it down to that point down there, like so, to that line, that breast point line, bust band line. I will make sure that that 4.5. I'm going to draw a straight line like so. That's our dart. I'm going to be cutting it off. Guys, when it got to that place, I tried not to cut it too close to the line, and then I am opening that side, this particular dart. I'm opening it up so that I can open my bust dart just like that. So I am going to cut it and just avoid the edge. I'm going to take it up and cover up the line where that 2 inches started to and then I'm going to raise it up like that, join them together, take my sellotape and place it down. I'm going to now make sure the 2 lines are well curved. I'm going to the broken line, I'm connecting them properly, and then I'm also using my straight ruler to connect the other line. Guys, seriously, this is not hard. Once you know how to mark a bust here, this will not be a problem. And if you have a problem with this, you can feel free to ask questions in the comment section, and all your questions will be answered. Thank you so much for coming this far. I don't take it for granted. If you know you've not subscribed, please subscribe, and God bless you. So one thing you shouldn't forget to do is to label your cups. If you do not label your cup, it will get you confused while you're joining it. So guys, if you do not want any joining at that point, you can use a sellotape and tape it down so that when you're cutting your fabric, it was going to just be together, and then you can just draw whatever kind of boning line you want. So it's not necessary that that place should be divided, so you can decide to join it together. Thank you for coming this far. So next thing we're going to do is to draft the back pattern, the back of the corset. So guys, the front half length is not the same as the back half length. Most times it's like 2 inches shorter because of the breast in front, and most time just basically measure it. I like to measure it just to be precise. For the sake of this, we're going to be using 8 inches as a half length for the back. 18 inches, pardon, sorry. So we're going to be marking 18 across, and then we're going to use our straight ruler to join it in order to get a straight line. Just like that. This line looks slanted, but I want to believe that that's a straight line. So now up next, we're going to be marking our shoulder line. Our shoulder line is 16. Remember, divided by 2 will give us 8 inches. Do not forget. And we're not going to be putting zipper allowance, because at the back of this corset we're going to be putting an eyelet or a hoop. I'm not sure yet the one I'm going to be using. So guys, I marked our neckline 4 inches by 3 inches, like that. But I'm going to curve it, connect it in a curved line, gently like that. And then the next thing I'm going to be doing is come down with 1 inch armhole slope, 1 inch slope. I'm going to use my ruler to connect it to that neckline, just like so. After doing that, I'm going to pick up my tape and measure 9 inches, just as we did the front. And then I'm going to measure in 8 inches there so that I can get a straight line. Mark it on that line, then use my ruler to connect from up to down there. Remember, we're going to extend the line horizontally to form an L shape. Do not forget, just as we did the front. So we're going to connect the horizontal line to the vertical line, just like that. What I'm going to be doing next is to mark the bust line. I'm also going to mark the stomach, but before that I forgot to mark the underbust line that I did. I used 14 inches in front. I'm going to still use the same. So we're going to connect it, like we're going to mark it in several places so we could connect it on a straight line, just like that. I'm going to take my ruler and then draw the straight line. Easy peasy, right? So what we're going to do next is to mark the round on the bust measurement. Remember, I used 7 inches and a half in front. I remember I snatched the front with ½ inches. Sorry, that was a mistake. I think I still went there and I came out. I had to rectify that mistake. That was a very big mistake. ½ inch is already out. I think I even ended up marking an 8, so I trimmed it out. Please take note, I trimmed it out. And I'm going to use my curved ruler to connect from the armhole from the round on the bust down to the half length, just like that. Then now, next thing I'm going to do is to determine how deep I want my yoke to be at the back. So I'm going to be marking 9 inches. I want my yoke to be 9 inches deep. I'm going to take a straight line and draw it across horizontally. Up next, I'm going to take my French curve and then I'm going to draw the armhole curve just the way we did the front, but I'm not going to come in by half because the back and the front armhole are not the same. When I was done with that, I marked the dart for the back. I'm using 4 inches across. So I'm going to join 4 inches, marking 4 inches across the horizontal line, just like that. My camera is not showing the down part. I'm so sorry about that. I didn't know. So I'm going to be connecting. I marked half inch at the bottom, and then I'm using my ruler to connect the 1/2 inch by 2 sides, just the way normally mark out that. I am so sorry I did not know it wasn't showing. So, and then I think I drew my straight line down, just the normal that. And when I was done, I went ahead to use my French curve to connect those lines together, because I want that shape of, I want my yoke to be that shape where you can put a button back. So I'm going to use my French curve and find a very fine curve, and then adjust it and make a very, very beautiful curve there, and get this yoke that has a button behind it. It's not difficult. So the place I'm labeling, we're going to be cutting them out, part of what we're going to be using. So now for the back, I want the back to be exposed so that when we are tying the eyelet, it will have a little space. So I'm coming in up there by 1.5, and I'm coming from down by 1 inch. You can extend it if you want. You can make it wider than that. So, and then the next thing I'm going to do is to connect it on the straight line. So apart from not putting a zip allowance, I removed from the back a bit. So I'm going to now go ahead and proceed to start cutting out all this. Thank you for coming this far. When we got to this place, I decided to open one part of the lines there, because I would like to join it with the sellotape, so that there'll be no need to join the darts there, because I've already removed the dart as it is now. So I'm going to use my sellotape to join it and then proceed. So guys, I like this bustier method of cutting my corset because it saves time, and this is going to be a series. When I'm done with this, I'm going to do a second method of cutting a corset, and then I'm going to do a third method of cutting a corset. But if you're new to the cutting of corset, I would advise you use this method to cut your corset, because it will be so easy for you and you don't need to go through a whole lot of processes. Thank you so much for coming this far. I'm trying to arrange my pattern down so you could see what it looks like, my yoke, and please try and label it. You label your front yoke and back yoke, although they actually look different, but some cases they look alike, so you have to label. So thank you so much for coming this far. May God bless you, and see you in yet another video. Bye bye.